Boonboomger and ToQger crossover is finally here. We pick up immediately from the previous episode and Genba is beaten, but luckily Sakato and Buundi have taken him to sort of like, not necessarily abandoned, but just like a railway depot just to like get him out of the sort of mess that he got himself in with this race. As they're chatting and they're sort of catching up as to what happened, they can hear like a harmonica. And sure enough, right underneath the tracks is Akira. Now, if you don't know, Akira is the orange ToQger from ToQger. Now, I've only just recently like sort of got into ToQger and started catching up with it. I did a video on it the other day, and I recently watched the movie as well, like the finale movie, which was really good. So I think even though I don't have like a massive history with these characters, seeing Akira come back just for this one episode, that was pretty cool. There's a little tiny bit of an introduction, but then we cut straight to the intro, and coming off of that, we're actually in like the main sort of lab at Taya's house, and Dario is working on the champion jackets, which very excited. We should be seeing him soon. There's also a really cute moment with Mira as well, where she sees that there's some orange fabric, meaning that Dario is making Genba a jacket, regardless of what his current status is, you know, which I thought was really cute. But cutting back to the railway, Akira pretty much helps Genba sort of freshen up. He has like a kind of first aid kit in with his tools. And Sakato's like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "I'm Akira, and I'm a ToQger." And Sakato hasn't got a clue what that means or who he is. I don't know who the ToQgers are, which is fine, I suppose. I mean, this is 10 years after, which is probably why this anniversary is really happening. It's the 10th anniversary of ToQger. But yeah, he had no idea who he was. And then, kind of out of nowhere, the Sakato and Genba rivalry continued. We saw them have a bit of a fight a couple of episodes ago, but they're basically continuing. And Akira's kind of like refereeing their match. Genba kind of wins, but only barely. And he's just having this entire moment of just like, I don't deserve to be alive. I just want to get rid of this race and then I can die. To which Akira's like, I don't think so. Because a part of ToQger is that basically Akira, spoilers for ToQger by the way, so Akira was once evil and like part of like the shadow people, and was basically like, look, once they're gone, I can die. And that's my purpose served. And of course, throughout the show, he realizes maybe there's more to live for. And that's, I think, kind of what this episode was about for Genba, which I think is awesome. I think having a crossover is one thing. Like, you know, when Boonboomger did a crossover earlier in the season, it was cool, but nothing really came of it. Having an entire character's, like, plot point be, like, affected by a character like Genba, like, because as far as we know, Genba's not a part of the team anymore. He didn't have any plans of coming back. I mean, you know, stay tuned to the end of the video because he'll probably be back. But having Akira, who is an Orange Ranger also, but from a series 10 years ago, be one of like the pivotal like changing points for Genba's story, I think is sick. Like, I didn't expect that from this crossover at all. But anyway, we then cut to the Boonboomger's version of Team Rocket. We have Deca Trader Tasha and Yarika just moping about on a rail, basically on a railway, and they're like, I've had enough of this, let's sort some stuff out. So they get one of the keys and they create a railway monster, and the point of this Hashalian is just that he's running around constantly and like capturing people to join like a big conga line, and that's just all he does. It's a bit of a useless monster, but effective in this regard. First of all, he gets Joe, and then he gets Ishiro and Mira, and then down the line, he gets Buundi, Genba, and Akira. So the only ones that haven't managed to get caught are Sakato and Taya, and it is up to them to save the rest of the Boonboomgers and just the people as well. They discover that if they attack the monster, then the entire like train line that they formed is going to be destroyed also, so they can't really do that. But they do come up with a plan. So they get their blasters and somehow manage to like create train tracks with them. Don't know how they've done this, but they've done it, okay? So let's not be fit. And they create like a circle train track, so then when the line goes on it, it's just going in a circle. So at least then they can figure out what to do without having to constantly chase like the trail, because they're just going around in a circle. And then Akira looks over at Taya and goes, he reminds me of Right. And he's like, who's Right? And then the rainbow line blasts past them, and there is Right in all of his glory. He's morphed. We don't see him yet anyway, but there he is, Toku Red, Toku Wungo. And with the good old ToQger power of imagination, they whip out like the big cannon blaster they have, and he puts a train in it and they blast it, and Ticket comes out along with a bunch of other tickets, and basically they go around and like start chomping pretty much on the train, and it cuts off all the ties to all the people. So the people are free, and then Joe, Mira, and Ishiro join Taya and Sakato to help fight this monster. There's then just like a really long henchman battle, and usually that could be quite fun, could be quite boring, but we use it to showcase Right fighting them and doing the ToQ transfers. He does it with the yellow changer and the green one. Now, I would like to think that they chose yellow and green because obviously like Boonboomgers don't have those colors. Like they have black and orange instead of yellow and green, which I think that's just a really neat touch. Like there's something about it, because obviously we saw it in the trailers and I didn't catch whether it was the number 1 on them or not. So I didn't know if like the full team was coming back or if it would be Right just changing the colors, and it was. But I really like that. I like they were like, yeah, we're going to show you a green and yellow ranger because you've not had one of those for time. Now, whilst the rangers are battling, Akira and Genba are actually having a bit of a chat in the background. And Genba is just saying like, look, I'm a failure and like, just, you know, I just want to die. I want this risk on and then I can go. And then Akira's just like, look, you've got incredible friends, right? You have a lot to live for, and maybe one day you'll learn that. So for now, just keep your head up, stop moping about, and you know, you'll sort it out. And like I said earlier, there's something about that, having the Orange Ranger from 10 years ago, Orange Ranger now, having that one-on-one moment and that actually affecting Genba's story and the future of Genba in this show was a masterpiece. It's such a small and subtle scene, but like I said, I didn't expect just a cross. I thought this was going to be a crossover for the sake of crossover, and it wasn't, and I have so much respect for it. As usual, once they think they've defeated everybody, Yaraka resurrects the train monster and makes him big. The Boonboomgers are getting their mechs together, but Sakato can't, because Boondy is like, look, I understand I am your mech, but I feel very motion sick from that entire train loopy thing, and I can't do it. So he wasn't going to be able to fight. And then Right comes over and he invites him to pilot ToQger, which is the main mech from ToQger. Now, they didn't rebuild the cockpit, they did it all on green screen, but they did have the mech suit. And there was something about Sakato sat in like the leading controls of ToQger with Right behind him trying to teach him how to do it, because at first he doesn't know what he's doing, the Zord's going everywhere, but eventually Sakato rips out the current controls and connects his like steering wheel morpher, and from that point on he is sailing with it. So the Boonboomgers in Boondario and Sakato and Right in ToQger go at it, and they defeat the train monster. When the battle is finished, we see the two mechs in the city, and we see Right fully morphed looking over them. He then takes the train out, and we see him. We see Right, the actual actor, just looking over the city. And I heard that like there was scheduling issues, which is why he was just a voice for most of it, but I'm so glad they got to have that little bit, because as I said, I've only recently gone into ToQger and I don't have like this mad history with it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my god, he's my boy, because you know, he's not. But there was just something about that I thought, the fact that they made the effort and they managed to navigate around it just to get him to demorph, look over the city, say something about imagination, and then walk off as there's a rainbow behind him. That was sweet. And the episode ends there. We of course get the little hints and the little preview for next week, and we are getting the Boom Boom Champion jackets, which I think are going to be sick. And it does seem like Genba is going to rejoin the team because he is with them in the jackets. And Sakato he's in the Boondy mech, and there's like parts of the ToQger mech, like the green and so I don't know if the ToQgers are coming back, or because this is the 10th anniversary of ToQger that like we're just gonna have their mechs now. I don't know, but that looks cool. I'm interested. I want to see where that goes. We've got about 18 episodes left of this entire show, so obviously we've got time to flesh it out still, but I'd love to see where this goes. The episode was awesome. I think, as I said, don't sound like a broken record, I don't have a history with ToQger, but I did watch some of it very recently, and I think picking up on the nuances of that show and seeing what's like been passed on and is still like ongoing in this show, that is just, I don't know, this is like a crossover done right. I do feel like Go On Just crossover was for the sake of crossover. It was cool. It didn't like pull away from the story too much. It was still cool. It is like one of the coolest like Ranger crossovers that I've seen. You know, I'm a Power Rangers guy more than a Sentai guy. I'm getting into Sentai day by day. Nothing's ever going to beat like Forever Red for me, right? There was so much heart in this, and it made sense, and it drove the story of this season further rather than just like tying up things from previous seasons. I had a great time. I had a great time. What are you guys' thoughts on this Boonboomger ToQger crossover? Did you enjoy it? Do you feel the same as me? If you don't, let me know in the comments down below. I'll try and interact with all you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned later this week when I will be talking about the new episode of Kamen Rider Gavi. I've actually not watched it yet, so I will be watching this right after this video is finished, along with, of course, many more Power Rangers and Tokusatsu related videos to come. Thanks again very much, and I will see you soon.